Bitcoin going to the moon, more than 20,000 US dollars per Bitcoin. So this is an important news. Along with that, lots of stuff is going the right direction right now. So NEO has broken through the downward channel, possibly see more green days from now on. And Baidu stock finally breaking out. You guys know that I'm long. I published a couple of Patreon posts around that. Also, I'm discussing the Q3 earnings as well as my price targets and napkin business case. That's it for now. I will surely make an updated video on that, but today I need to talk about, well, Bitcoin, because it's been since October when I started making videos about it. I mentioned it also in my Patreon post that I am long Bitcoin, and I want to increase my position going from 1% to 2% in my portfolio. And now Bitcoin is already up 100% since then. And now it's also a crucial moment in time because 2017, this is where Bitcoin has actually spiked roughly at 20,000 US dollars per Bitcoin. And then we saw the big sell-off. And I think this time actually, and this is my video about that, I think it's not going to happen. A couple of things have happened since I went more bullish in Bitcoin, and I'm going to show you what I think will happen in the short-term future, how I'm going to play with it, and yeah, what has changed since. So first of all, this is not a discussing bear versus bull thesis video on Bitcoin. I have outlined my investment thesis in my first video about Bitcoin, and now I'm just talking about the short-term future here. If you want to see more about somebody skeptical of Bitcoin, you can watch David Lee's investment channel, or otherwise, for instance, Gally, who is really bullish on Bitcoin, just yesterday did an updated interview actually with Michael Saylor from Microstrategy, the CEO who has invested lots of his company's money into Bitcoin, which I also featured in my first video about Bitcoin. And this is already one of the new topics that's actually coming to Bitcoin. So I talked about back then that now companies like PayPal, MicroStrategies and so on are adding it to the balance sheets, as well as that obviously with PayPal and Square, it's getting easier to buy actually Bitcoin. But now an interesting thought and takeaway from the video with Gally here is that actually, what if Apple is doing the same? Apple, who is well positioned in the area of privacy and you know, all those iPhones out there, what if they get a crypto wallet and it's getting even easier for people who have an iPhone to buy actually cryptocurrency? Gally already made this statement in 2014, so that's really awesome to see. And just thinking about it, Apple really has this big problem on their balance sheet, which is a huge cash position, and what they're gonna do with that. Lately, the company hasn't been as innovative as it's been since the iPhone. So what's the news? What can Apple do on top of that? And it's actually a nice idea that they could even break up this market even more, making Bitcoin more accessible to more people. And then on top of that, investing parts of the balance sheet on Bitcoin, which certainly would drive the value of Bitcoin even further. And why would they do that? Well, because of the same reason why others, and for instance, I am also getting into Bitcoin, is that we are worried about inflation as well as the entire economic situation here. With now, that's the update since my last time, second lockdowns, more closures of businesses, more private and liberty rights taken away from citizens. And I think that will have an impact on society in general, but also on money policy, money printing, monetary policy. For instance, in Europe, we already have a need for more subsidies for businesses, more stimulus plans, more printing of money, and so on. I think in the US, we may have the same in the near-term future as well. So the currencies are inflating, and then you would either put it into stocks or bonds, which are not returning much anymore. And now this a second thing that has changed, which I think is actually an additional argument on Bitcoin right now, is that actually the tech valuations have gotten a little bit high. So I see retail investors and some of the influencers out there talking about that. Personally, I'm not 100% of that opinion. I think there are quite some good picks out there, and some of those stocks could even run even further, especially in this economic condition with low interest rates. So I think as long as we see Fed not increasing the interest rates, I think this bull market will continue, although we will have some corrections and setbacks, as I was worried about, for instance, lockdowns as well. But just in my point of view, this is another reason to an argument for Bitcoin as a new asset class where investors can, store their value and money for some sort of time, and with some additional benefits on top of that, on which I'm not going into that. So with that, I'm thinking that we possibly have support around close to 20,000 US dollars per Bitcoin area, possibly be a back test to that one. Other than that, if that doesn't hold, I think we could go as low as 18,888 US dollars per Bitcoin. So my Chinese viewers may be really happy about this lucky number. Other than that, I think we should actually go more towards 22,000 or maybe even up to 24,000 US dollars per Bitcoin quickly soon, because I think now that this big psychological barrier has been broken, there will be another run. Bitcoin will have more media attention. More and more institutions are getting possibly more confident about Bitcoin, as I have personally also gotten during this period that I started accumulating more Bitcoin. And so with that confidence, I think we will rather see an increased ramp of the Bitcoin price here in the foreseeable future. So this, for me personally, also means that despite I just doubled down on Bitcoin, I will do another doubling down now. And that's also because of one reason, which is almost embarrassing to talk about already, is that I just found out that in Germany you don't pay taxes on gains of Bitcoin if you hold them for more than 1 year, and I'm already planning to hold it for a very long time, as I'm always am a buy and hold investor. So this is actually a huge advantage against even making an investment in stocks here, because if an investment grows 10x, let's say from 1,000 euros to 10,000 euros, with the stock I would have to pay 2,500 euros in taxes. But with Bitcoin in Germany, if I hold it more than 1 year, none of the taxes on the gains. So that's really awesome. And that's once again in this environment where people are starting to question the tech valuations, but cash is certainly not safe with inflation on the horizon as well. Then where do you put your money? I think those kind of questions will be resonating with more people in the foreseeable future, and then with an easier access to Bitcoin and possibly more confidence as the price hopefully stays up there, that could kind of be a self-fulfilling prophecy in a way. And this is not based on any new insight on whether or not there is some true scarcity or true value in Bitcoin and whatever, but just those arguments coming together for me make just so much sense for me to personally double my investment in Bitcoin, even at those high prices there, because I think it's likely that we even see higher prices in the future. So you may disagree on that. I hope you also do your own due diligence. You should not trust any YouTubers out there. Do your own due diligence. Make up your own mind. Does it make sense in your personal situation to invest in Bitcoin? If you can't invest in Bitcoin, you could think even about buying Microstrategy stock, because they have invested a large part of their company assets into Bitcoin. So whenever Bitcoin goes up, MicroStrategy also going up. And I personally used it even to get some exposure to call options with MicroStrategy. So yes, I'm definitely biased here. I am a long Bitcoin bull, and for me it just makes a lot of sense. Definitely gonna do an update on more of the philosophical and technical discussions around Bitcoin. But for me right now, this is just an update on the short-term price actions and what I'm personally doing with that. So I hope you enjoyed that. Please leave some comments down below. Let me know if you've already invested in it or if you're still skeptical about Bitcoin. And then see you in the next videos, possibly about Baidu or Neo, and as well as on Futu and Tiger Pro, because I'm still working on that. Sorry, it's taken me quite a bit of time, but I really want to make it substantiated and well thought through. So thank you guys for watching, and see you in the next one.